Y'all, I told y'all don't go on them cruises. Y'all, they got this virus called the Hantavirus. It's caused by rodents and all kinds of stuff. And yes, it can be passed from human to human. The virus is something that basically stops you from breathing.
Aftermath is a whole new mode. Let's get up, let's go hard.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hey, so I was going to talk about something called the Hantavirus that's been going around, but not here in the United States itself, but overseas on a cruise ship. And it mainly came from exposure to rat feces and urine, which I'm still wondering, how did people get sick from rat poop and urine on a ship? Unless they might have been contaminated from the silverware or the plates or the food. Something had to happen, because I doubt people on the ship was touching rats, because that's the only way you can get it, or breathing in their feces or their urine. But we're going to look more about it, and we're going to watch it together and see what information we can find out. But beware, because you know I'm all about health and fitness. So let's look at this and see what's going on. Let's check it out.
I would be worried, because the incubation period for hantavirus can be up to a week, can be very deadly. It can either take the form of a pulmonary disease, so it affects your lungs and your breathing, or it can be a hemorrhagic disease, affects your renal function, your kidney function. Both can be, extraordinarily serious. It's not easily spread from person to person. The mode of transmission is really through exposure to the rodent droppings or their urine.
You know what? I was thinking about something. Because I have a ball python and I feed him frozen rats. I better not get sick, PetSmart. Let's get back to it.
Or those droppings can be disturbed and they go in the air and you can breathe it in.
And I want to go on a
It's
cruise ship
something
too,
that,
man.
Everyone
Got me scared.
who's in the area of a rat dropping could be exposed. The symptoms are, depending upon what form you've got, the renal form or the pulmonary form. But if it's the pulmonary, it's, difficulty breathing, for both fatigue, headache. It is a very dangerous situation for cruise ship passengers. I would be worried, because the incubation period for hantavirus can be up to a week. It's possible that more cases will arise, and it's uncertain at this stage what, preventive and precaution measures the cruise ship.
Three people have died from a suspected hantavirus outbreak while travelling from Argentina to Cape Verde over the weekend. So what is the virus, and what are the symptoms? Hantavirus refers to a strain of viruses carried by rodents, primarily transmitted to humans by inhaling airborne particles of their droppings. In rare cases, the virus can also spread between people, according to the World Health Organization. Hantavirus can cause two severe illnesses, one that primarily affects the lungs and the other that attacks the kidneys. First often starts with fatigue, fever, and muscle aches, followed by dizziness, chills, and abdominal issues. One problem here is that these symptoms can be mistaken at the beginning for the flu. If respiratory symptoms develop, the mortality rate is approximately 38%. The illness that affects the kidneys is more severe. Later symptoms can include low blood pressure, internal bleeding, and acute kidney failure. While there's no specific treatment for the hantavirus infections, the US Centre for Disease Control and Prevention recommends supportive care to treat symptoms and admission to hospital for more severe cases.
We have a big update regarding the cruise ship with the Hantavirus update in the Atlantic Ocean. This morning, according to NBC News, it has been refused permission to dock. There are 149 people currently on board the cruise ship. 2 of them are seriously ill with the deadly virus. The virus has already killed 3 people, sickened 3 more, and 1 patient is currently hospitalized in critical condition, according to the World Health Organization. The ship tried to dock at the port in Cape Verde, which rejected it as a precautionary method. And now the cruise operator is saying that the ship may actually sail to the Canary Islands instead to dock. It remains to be seen whether it actually happens. Now, there are 6 cases of hantavirus. 1 is confirmed, 5 are suspected. The one that's suspected is a British national currently in Johannesburg, according to NBC News. The World Health Organization is stressing there is no need to be alarmed, that there's no real threat to the general public, and that the wider public, any threat remains low. I'll have more updates for you soon. Spread the word. Follow.
Autopsy report has confirmed Hantavirus to be the cause of death for Betsy Arikara, who is the wife of actor Gene Hackman. Now, what is Hantavirus, and why is it that many people have never heard of this condition? Well, it's a virus that's spread through contact with rodents, rodent feces, rodent urine, and at first it causes flu-like symptoms, fever, headache, body aches, but eventually the disease can progress to respiratory distress syndrome, where the lungs become so inflamed they fill up with fluid. This can rapidly lead to respiratory failure and death. In fact, the disease has a case fatality rate of 30 to 60%. So that sounds really bad, right? Like, how is this disease not front page news like COVID-19? Well, the disease cannot be spread from humans to humans. It's only spread through contact with rodents. Because of this, it will never become a global pandemic, as was the case with COVID-19.
If you see a patient with sudden fever and severe respiratory failure after rodent exposure, think hantavirus. Hantavirus is transmitted through aerosolized rodent urine or droppings, often from cleaning cabins, barns, or sheds. Early symptoms look viral: fever, chills, and intense myalgias. But then comes the dangerous phase: rapid progression to acute respiratory distress and cardiopulmonary collapse. Labs often show thrombocytopenia and hemoconcentration. That's a key board clue. There is no specific antiviral treatment. Management is aggressive ICU-level supportive care, including ventilator support and, in severe cases, ECMO. Board Pearl: flu-like illness plus rodent exposure plus sudden ARDS, think hantavirus.
Well, I guess we all learned something today. Make sure you watch out for yourself. Check out what cruise ships you go on. Be careful, because as you know, people cruise all the time, and you don't know what they bring on those ships, what diseases they bring on those ships, who's sick on the ship. Watch out for yourself, because people definitely ain't watching out for you. Take care, y'all. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. We out.